Let me know if you are seeing me clearly. Let me know if you are hearing me. If you are seeing and hearing me clearly, welcome to another episode of Extra Class, episode number 170. I trust that everyone is okay. I trust that everyone had a wonderful and productive week. For the persons who are still on their way home from work, I trust that you will get home safely. For the persons who are home and are ready to listen to each other about some things we have to jam down, jam rock, Jamaica land we love. Land of Food and Water, Bob Marley, Usain Bolt, Vice Cartel, Buju Banton, Shelly and Fraser Price, Elaine Thompson. Some more people. Big up on yourself. Manners and respect. Appreciate the persons who have been here early and have been engaging each other in the comment section. Big up on yourself. Peeps, good night.
Kaboom! Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them. You know, it's Teach Them, the #1 intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel. Hey, yo, yellow! Like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification button. Hey, yo, we always up to something. Teach them! Hey, yo, yellow! Send the message and make it reach them. It's Teach Them, right here. Warlord representing.
Yeah, peeps, so we're there. You know what thing go. There is no time to waste, so we come for talk about some things. The Royal General, big up yourself. For the persons who are here and a shout out, you know what do the healing up. Look more than in a dance. You know what I mean? When they dance ram up. When promoter and him friend them a laugh. Oh, them a laugh. Cha la 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 la. Anti-gang operation in St. Catherine bags AK-47 rifle and 2 other guns. Big up to the police them. So the police say they have arrested 24 persons and seized 3 firearms during a number of police military operations in several communities within St. Catherine on Tuesday, June the 25th. So the operations were part of an ongoing anti-gang and murder reduction strategy aimed at suppressing and dismantling criminal organizations and gangs and apprehending its members, the police high command said. So according to the police, the operations began at approximately 3 a.m. 3 o'clock in the morning when them a walk up and down with them tall thing and impacted several communities including St. Jago Heights, Jones Avenue, Rivoli, Lariston, Marchpen Road, Bucktown, Top Banks, St. John's Road, and Homestead in the parish. So during the operations, an AK-47 assault rifle and 10 rounds of ammunition were seized on Jones Avenue in Spanish Town. Then, St. Catherine at about 8:30 a.m. One man was taken into custody in relation to the seizure. So about 9:55 a.m., a high-point pistol was seized along with 7 rounds of ammunition, and this thing would kind of sound like when I hear myself. Along with 7 rounds of ammunition in a heavily vegetated area of the Spanish Town bypass road. You understand? So Bushy man them hide the shows them. So no arrest was made at said location. So the operations continued in the New Nursery area where a Smith & Wesson firearm and 14 rounds of ammunition were seized. One man was arrested in relation to that seizure. So the public is being reminded that they can play their part in creating safer communities by reporting illegal firearms, gangs, and suspicious activities by calling Crime Stop at 311. I suppose the police emergency 119 number. Somebody has said the volume low. Yeah, on a broad TV. Peeps, all the volume sound. Check. Testing 1 3. When I test 2, what about you? Testing. So you are on a broad TV. Tasha, big up yourself. So she not hear me so well. Peeps, give me some feedback on the audio there quick and fast now. And me want to go on and I dance now. You see? So a reward is offered for information that leads to the seizure of illegal weapons, and the police said the anti-gang and murder reduction operations will be ongoing. Miss Claudette Kerr, good night, my friend. Thank you so much for your thoughtfulness and your generosity. Really and truly appreciate the continued support. Blessings every time. You understand? So, I don't know, from the other day, persons keep on having issue with the audio and thing, I don't really know what the situation with that. Seeing some people are say okay, some people are say no. I don't know. Tash, probably a need for come out of the stream and circle back. Yeah, so let me say, yeah man, manners and respect. And to the police officers out there in St. Catherine, especially in the Spanish Town area, I want to take this opportunity to say, job well done. We appreciate the work. We appreciate the reduction of the guns on the street. We appreciate the fact that persons are being arrested. We appreciate the fact that assorted rounds of ammunition are being taken off the street. We know that it is an uphill task. We know that it is a fight against inertia. We know that the resources and the support are limited, but you continue to do a thankless job as best as you can. And we're talking about the professional police officers in Spanish Town. Big up on yourself, manners and respect. One more that. Yeah, peeps. Juicy J.A. Big up yourself, and brother. You know, we appreciate that something, you know. Manners and respect every time, you know, bro. Blessings, we appreciate it. Mad. You see me? So most people are to the audio, alright. Someone I know. Tash, you probably need for just log out and log in back and restart the device. You know what I mean? Yeah, peeps. So, them little things. We know that one of the biggest problems affecting Jamaica land we love is the issue of corruption in high and low places. You understand? Stand here, say. Tired of corruption in high and low places. And we have long agreed on the fact that in order for us to see a Jamaica where crime and violence is reduced, where the poor starts to move up the socio-economic ladder, where guns and ammunition are not so readily available for people with ill will and ill intent, corruption has to be addressed. And we're seeing a situation now where Contractor General Dirk Harrison is stating same. I mean, he's telling us things that we know already, things that we have agreed on. But we're going to see what him officer. Father Nigel Armstrong, manners and respecting him, brother. Really and truly appreciate the thoughtfulness and generosity behind the thing, you know. You understand? It come like the people, them get pay. Yo. Super chat at tonight. Peace, big up on yourself. We always appreciate it, you know. You understand what I say? We always appreciate it. So, big up on yourself. I want to work hard and thing, and it means a lot when I appreciate the work and I say teach. All this. Blessings every time. So, Alidan said that now stop. It will never stop in Alidan. But what we are hope to achieve, bro, is a reduction of sorts. A decline. You understand what I say? So if corruption can be reduced, then a lot of things can improve in this country. So we know that as long as there are human beings existing in a space, there will be some form of nonsense. You know what I mean? So I understand what you say, bro, but then I not expect a total eradication of corruption. But what I would like to see is a sustained reduction instead. Zane, Father Anthony, big up yourself and brother. Manners and respect. Really and truly appreciate the settings. You know what I mean? And thing. So woefully unacceptable. Harrison calls for action as thousands of Integrity Commission cases await prosecution. You know what I mean? So the top prosecutor for the corruption watchdog body, the Integrity Commission, has publicly chastised his bosses over the agency's failure to have a single case placed before the courts in the more than 1 year since it was established. I guess it's another talk shop. We have a lot of those in Jamaica. We have committees here, we have a steering committee there, so a driving committee there, so a working committee there, so a not working committee there, so committee. We have committees for committees. You know what I mean? So since its inception over 1 year ago, the Integrity Commission would have put forward, would have unearthed, discovered a number of irregularities and issues tantamount to corruption in many agencies and institutions across this country. But year to date, nobody has been put in front of the courts to answer these allegations of corruption. You understand? So what them only pop commissioner and committee for if nothing happen. You understand what I say? It's just a bag of talk and talk and talk and promise and promise and promise. You see me? Boy, I'm gonna know. So it says, according to Derek Harrison, acting director of corruption prosecution for the commission, there are over 100,000 cases in the system. May I repeat that? See? There are over 100,000 cases in the system, most of which date back to his time as contractor general. Well, Derek Harrison, I might have said earlier that he is the contractor general. He is a former contractor general. He is now a part of the Integrity Commission by the looks of things. So the Integrity Commission, which I am a part of, so this is Derek Harrison speaking now, has not prosecuted a single person in 15 months. It is woefully unacceptable that thousands of matters which remain in the system are not being prosecuted. Harrison lamented at an American Chamber of Commerce Jamaica luncheon on crime, corruption and criminal justice in New Kingston only yesterday. So the country demands action. The government, the opposition, the NGOs, which is non-governmental organization, and all stakeholders must demand action, as this is unacceptable and too much time has passed, he insisted. The Andrew Holness administration did not escape Harrison's crosshairs as he addressed the gathering. He couldn't, because under the Andrew Holness administration there has been a number of scandals and counter scandals and new scandals and old scandal and crocus bags. See? Let us accept and admit two simple facts. The crime plan and anti-corruption plan are not working, he declared. May I say that again? This is the former contractor general, now part of the Integrity Commission. Let us accept and admit just two simple facts. The crime plan and anti-corruption plan are not working. The appearance and actual plan to sit on our posterior and expect things to happen as they prevail in the state of utopia is fictional, Harrison added. Harrison, who had a public falling out with his bosses over a report he crafted as contractor general on the sale of the rooms on the beach property in St. Ann, predicted that 2019 is likely to set a record as one of the most remarkable years for the perception of or actual corruption. Further, he suggested that this year would also stand out as one in which the perception that crime and corruption are means to an end, and an end in themselves, has flourished. An obvious reference to the scandal uncovered at Petrojam, the state-owned oil refinery, and several state agencies that falls under the Energy Ministry. Don't forget the Ministry of Education, family. See? So Derek Harrison, who would have seen probably firsthand some of the corrupt practices that currently avails in Jamaica, who would have written a number of reports based on investigation on corrupt political and public officials, is saying that we're not really serious about corruption, not at the long and short of the story. We're not really serious about corruption. We're not really serious about tackling corruption. We're not really serious about seeing a decline in corrupt officials in the public sphere serving the public. So we are more serious about talking and pretending to do things when nothing is being done, and the whole corruption debacle continues to escalate and escalate, and persons have 9 lives and them something there. So if them say fish come from sea bottom and say shark down, they believe him. This is the former contractor general. And if this man say we're not serious, then we're not serious. It's a simple thing. The man said there are over 100,000 cases currently in the system, and not a single person have been brought in front of the courts of the land to answer any form of allegations as it relates to corruption. Then what is the sense? What is the sense of the Integrity Commission if there's no end product? It don't make no sense. You understand what I say? But this is Jamaica Torated, innit? Serious stuff. Oh, should not stop him. So peeps, I would have spoken 2 streams in a row now about the new primary exit profile, PEP examinations, and results subsequently. You know, PEP would have been the successor to the grade 6 achievement test, GSAT, and we are seeing where data is suggesting that the results not so hot, especially for math and language arts, where based on the 41,612 students who would have sat the examination, only 3%, which amounts to about 1,117 students being rated as fully proficient in all 4 subject areas, which is math, language arts, social studies, and integrated science. Now imagine out of 42,000 students are MASH, only 1,000 and MASH are seen as being proficient in the 4 disciplines in which they were tested. Seeing? We also seen a situation where many parents, many persons in the education fraternity are calling on the Ministry of Education to revert to the grading scheme that they use for GSAT, where the raw score was available to stakeholders, be it the schools or the parents. Now we're seeing it where they have a grade or a scaling system where you have 4 scales: highly proficient, proficient, developing, and beginner. And my question is this: why would you send a student who is rated or ranked as a beginner to a high school? That is my fundamental question. How do you send a child who is not ready to leave the primary system to the secondary system? What do you hope to achieve by doing this? Why is it that the high school system is now being placed under greater strain and pressure with the limited or no resource in some cases to deal with a child who is moving from a level where they are not yet ready to leave? So that's the next question I'm going to hear nobody ask. I'm going to hear no answer being provided to. You understand what I say? So I'm going to understand. Zine, how can a child after 6 years in primary school be moved on to a high school when they are considered to be a beginner? What is that going to do to... Well, I don't know. I don't know. Father Peyton, please, big up yourself. Zane and thing. So we see where the minister or the acting minister of education, and that is one of the problem. The education ministry don't even have no direction right now because they don't even have a leader per se. This man is just filling the void left by the firing or the resignation or whatever you want to call it of former education minister Royal Reid. Yeah, which is Carl Samuda. They're saying that work needs to be done. And ESPs, I understand, say, Zane, Everett Anderson says, no child left behind. Yeah, but then you can't move forward if you're not ready for move forward either. You understand? I understand the fact that PEP is in its infancy stages and there will be teething problems. Yeah, I get that. I understand that. Zane, B. Edwards, so well, the teachers not doing their jobs. You see, then it's all a matter of context, you know, B. Edwards. And as a teacher, I don't necessarily go subscribe to that. Because the reality is that some children take a longer time, Zane, to start to flourish than others. So not because a child at grade 6 is essentially seen as a beginner means that the teacher them not do them job. It could simply mean that that child has not yet reached a stage where they start to blossom or flourish as a learner. Zine, it simply means that that child need to be given special attention Seeing more directed learning should take place with that child to improve said situation. You understand what I say? Versus just getting up and saying that teachers now do them job. You see that are one of the trouble we keep on falling into. When children do well, it is the parents and the child is bright. No teacher is called or mentioned. But the moment the child struggles academically, teacher's not doing nothing. Good evening, North Point, out of Barbados. Welcome, my friend. If you're here for the first time, really and truly appreciate the support. You understand? Blessings every time. So, me get why people then jump and say that still, but I suppose there's context to everything. You understand? And we need to be fair and we need to be balanced. Why is it when a child is doing well, the child is brilliant, and the parents are there for the children? You understand? But the moment now a child is not doing well, the teachers are the worst thing since the devil. Me not get that. Why we can't be consistent? So why is it now that child is probably slower and the parental support is not as great as a child we are do well? So all of a sudden when it start go downhill, are the teacher's fault. And yes, as an educator, I will not sit here and pretend that all of my colleagues deserve to be paid by the Ministry of Education. I would be lying. But the reality is that I think majority of the teachers out there have the best interest of the nation's children at heart. I could be wrong, I don't think so though. But I just want to look at consistency. Teachers will always get the shitty end of the stick, so to speak. You understand? And people fail to understand the constraints, Zane, and the limitations in which we work. Zane? So, but that's a next story for you next time. We're seeing a situation now where President-elect of the Jamaica Teachers Association has come out blazing the Ministry of Education and has accused them essentially of covering up the actual performance of the grade 6 students in the recent in the recent PEP results that were released recently. Me sort out one little thing here, so peeps, cause yeah. Zine? So you know, Speed, a Speed I'm surname. Well, it's SPEID. May I pray I saw you pronounce. Sticks to his guns as the ministry denies using a scale to hide poor results. So I'm gonna share with you first a little thing as it relates to the scaling system. Zine, so you can get a little bit of perspective as it relates to the whole situation here. Yeah, so let me say, so I could do that something here. Boom. If we're not here. I'm not getting no volume on this here. Please, I know if you not get some volume on this, because I don't know why I'm not seeing a volume on this right so. Volume or no volume, I don't know. I probably forgot to play for this. Nah, here. Oh, well, I don't know what go on with that. No, I thought the volume of the video, Miss Gray. I don't know why I'm not hearing nothing on that now. You see? No volume. that happen. Probably have to go skip that still. So we can go and talk while I something and play through still. Yeah? So I tell you no one go on and now. Zane, basically GSAT was a scoring system, a raw score system. So raw score. So with GSAT, if a child did math is marked out of 100. So if the child got 95, that is what came out on the child's GSAT result. The child scored 95 in math. If the child scored 5 in math, that is what came out, 5. You understand? So now we're seeing a situation where instead of the scores being provided, we are having a situation where a scaling system is now being used. And the scaling system, as I said, is highly proficient, developing, and beginner. The president-elect now of the Jamaica Teachers Association is having none of it. Zine, so the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has taken Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA President Owen Speed to task over statements he made regarding the recent primary exit profile PEP exams. Zine, I need to do this because I need to share Mr. Speed look we don't know. Yeah, so let me say, give me a minute the peeps. Extra class. I know I never load up this long time, you know. Auntie. This lock, no. So this is the gentleman now in question. One on that side is Carl Samuda, the other man is the president-elect. So the ministry has rejected as false, unfortunate and highly inflammatory recent comments made by Speed that the Education Ministry has engaged in a plot to cover up student scores in the 2019 PEP exams. This is not only irresponsible, but it reeks of intellectual dishonesty. It is unbecoming of someone who purports to be a leader of the teaching fraternity, said Carl Samuda, the minister without portfolio overseeing the Education Ministry. Speed also accused the ministry of combining the performance task scores with those of the curriculum-based tests in order to hide marks. Because remember, PEP is an ongoing thing, so you have testing at different grade levels. So what the president-elect is saying is that the ministry did not only use the scores, Zine, from the final exam, but also to use the scores from the preliminary testing to kind of fluff up everything. That is what the man has said. Zine, we show there now. This again, the Education Ministry has challenged, saying that the plan to combine the score was shared with teachers during island-wide consultation before the tests were administered. The ministry said that the decision to use scaled scores instead of raw percentage was also announced at a quarterly briefing in December of 2018. Firing back, Speed said that the first and only time any presentation was made about the new scoring format was at a meeting of the National Standards Curriculum NSC and the PEP committee on June the 10th, 2019. That's about 2 weeks ago. My first response to the Ministry of Education press release is that I am just hoping that the Honourable Minister is not using the quarterly press conference of December 18, of which he spoke in the article, to make reference to the point for a consultation. In fact, it is not similar to a consultation because a press conference cannot be similar to a consultation, naturally. He continued, the next point is, after that announcement, where is the bulletin to the school that substantiate that this new format was to be introduced? Up to 6 months after that, no, and they don't have any school receiving any bulletin informing them that this new format would be used. I think that is irresponsible. Speed maintained that The real true results that Jamaicans are accustomed to were not given to this set of Jamaican grade 6 students, and questioned the credibility of the PEP app. I kind of spend some time on the PEP app today to try to understand it. There's a PEP app that is out since they are talking about going around and discussing with the teachers and stakeholders and so on. How is it then that nothing about the scoring format is on the PEP app? And the PEP app is up and running for quite some time. So the long and short of this story, you see peeps, is that say, right now, things set away. Because, one, as I am saying, PEP is in its infancy stages. Yes, there will be bumps and obstacles and teething issues. But would I appreciate some transparency? You understand what I'm saying? I'm sure Jamaicans would appreciate that, Zane. And I cannot understand how difficult or how detrimental it would be to actually make available the actual scores that the children who sat these exams would have attained in said examination. Why is that such a big secret? That has been the way of operation from common entrance days. So why this sudden change? Some parents want to know exactly what they do. You understand what I say? Some don't know what the big secret. And if you reach to a situation where there's claims and counter claims now, it is the ministry's fault. Because at the end of the day, the ministry should then provide the scores for the students. Provide the scores and then you scale them if you want to do the scaling thing. You understand? But I would also appreciate someone from the Ministry of Education providing answers to the question that I would have asked. How is it possible that a child who has been rated at the beginner level is being sent to a secondary education institution? You tell me, like, I can't see through that. Yes, no child should be left behind, and I am fully supportive of that. However, if a child is not ready to matriculate into a higher level of learning, then the child should not be sent there. Because what is going to happen to that child? That child will possibly just fall through the cracks. Because the reality is that based on the constraints of the curriculum, based on the administrative duty, based on the parental duty, based on the mentor duties, and the peacemaking duties, and the security duties, and the babysitting duties that teachers have to face, then the reality is that and not only that, the resources are lack thereof, and class sizes, then these children, yes, I know them what talk about, say, when you go to university or teachers college, you are taught differentiation and different learning styles and different techniques and methodologies to approach different learners. Yes, that is all good in reality. You understand? In thinking and in thought. But in reality, the situation sometimes is different. You understand what I say? And when a teacher have 40 students in a class and 5 of them or 10 of them at the beginner level, then it really and truly become challenging. See? It really and truly become challenging. B. Edwards, if we have the space to hold them back. If we don't have the space, we make it. Simple maths. If we don't have the space, we make it. How fair is it to send a child to an institution of higher learning when that child has not achieved any form of mastery or even close to that from the level that they are coming from? That makes absolutely no sense to me. And I am speaking from the perspective of being an high school teacher. That cannot make any sense. So when you send those children and teachers who are specialists now, remember, at the primary level, teachers are trained in primary education. They do everything. They are trained for that. At the high school level, you have specialists. Those persons focus on a particular subject matter. And as such, they are not as wide in terms of delivering bits and pieces of different subjects as the primary school teachers who should be the experts at preparing students for the high school level. You understand what I say? So then now, everybody involved here is at a disadvantage. So yes, we might not have the space now, but if we not have it, we have to make it. For every problem in this life, there's a solution. And I suggest that the solution for this problem is you can't send youths when they're ready for high school education to high school. Craig Street, big up yourself. You understand, B. Edward? So I understand the concern, and that is a valid question as well. Don't get me wrong. But what we're going to do, Zane, if you don't have a space for them, you create a special institution for those persons. You understand? Blessings to the persons who are just joining the stream. I'm seeing Miss Keisha West. I don't normally do the shout outs during the stream anymore. We kind of save that for the last. But big up on yourself, peeps. You know what I think. Seeing, so shall we then create an institution to give special attention to students who need special attention before they matriculate into the secondary education system? I would suggest yes. Persons may not agree with that, but I suppose that is the beauty of civility and discussion. We will have different perspective on different situations, and you know what I think. So the to and fro and the claims and counterclaims between the Education Ministry and the Jamaica Teachers Association President-elect is eating up, because it seems like the President-elect will not be backing down. As a matter of fact, I also saw an article where he suggested that the ministry, if them not happy when him taught them, to sue him. So apparently he's not in the mood to back down. And he himself would be a principal, because generally speaking, the persons who become JTA presidents are principals of an educational institution. And it would appear that he's also the principal of a primary school. So I guess him understand what he must say, and him know which direction he must come from. So I can watch it and see how it play out, how it develop, how it work out, and these good things. All I want is the best interest of the nation's children, Zane. All I want is transparency. Zine, we understand, say, look here, early days of PEP, it's going to take a little while. It's not the perfect system. There will be no perfect system. You understand? But just be transparent. Show people exactly what they might work with. I don't know why we are trying for show things over people, Zine, and thing, and them something there. You know what I mean? So I just my take on the situation that. So peeps, the FLA, the Firearm Licensing Authority, you know, in recent times they would have been trying to do some house cleaning, some cleanup work, and they would have been revoking firearm licenses and gun permit from many persons who would have been given those permits and licenses under questionable circumstances, and also after the intervention of politicians in the past. Zane, we're seeing a situation now where the FLA has been taken to court. So the FLA, which is the Firearm Licensing Authority, is facing court for failure to return a cop's gun. So the board of the Firearm Licensing Authority is facing a legal challenge over claims that it has breached a court order to return a policeman's weapon. But the board is contending that the court made no such order. On March 12th, the claimant, Constable Sancho Somerville, went to renew his firearm license when the gun was seized on grounds that adverse traces were detected. Yeah. Remember, in a piece, may I say that again. On March the 12th, the claimant, Constable Sancho Somerville, went to renew his firearm license when the gun was seized on the grounds that there were adverse traces detected. Attorney Hugh Wildman, who is representing the claimant, subsequently made an application to the Supreme Court on April 8th for a judicial review to squash the FLA's decision, and also for the FLA to return his client's firearm. Following that hearing, Wildman reported that Justice Courtney Day had given the FLA 45 days to return his client's weapon if there was no reason to hold on to the weapon. But to date, Somerville is still without his firearm. His gun license was also revoked by the FLA on April 25th. As a result, Wildman filed a motion in the Supreme Court against the FLA board, seeking the court's intervention to compel the FLA to return its client's firearm. Peeps, that get dicey and hold on. So the Chief Executive Officer of the FLA, Shane Dalling, and board members Justice Marva McIntosh, Ina Rose, Ansia Anita, and Albert Edwards were listed as defendants. Each of the defendants, along with Mr. Shane Dalling, the CEO, is a member of the board of the FLA authority and is personally liable for failing to comply with the order of Justice Courtney Day, Somerville said in his affidavit. He further pointed out that the authority had breached the court's order by revoking his firearm license. Additionally, the constable in the affidavit also indicated that the FLA revoked his firearm license without giving him any additional reason for its refusal to return the firearm. But you couldn't get the firearm if they revoked the license, family. You understand? The FLA, in a press release posted on its website on April 10th, had rubbished the report about the judge giving it 45 days to return Somerville's firearm. The FLA received information from the Jamaica... Listen to this now, peeps. Dicey. The FLA received information from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the same Jamaica Constabulary Force in which the claimant is an officer, that Constable Somerville was disarmed of his service weapon. So the JCF disarmed the police brother of his weapon. Zin? And was not allowed to bear arms in the performance of his duties as a policeman or otherwise. Again, peeps, this policeman will sue the FLA for him gun and him renewal of him license was disarmed by the organization that he works for, the Jamaica Constabulary Force. So he was relieved of his service pistol and he was banned from bearing arms in the performance of his duty as a policeman or otherwise. This decision, the JCF stated, was in the public's interest. I know my face look fat with you, you know. Based on that information, the FLA launched an investigation concerning the matter. The FLA had to launch an investigation because if the police force take a squaddy gun, Zane, me not sure what squaddy do you know, cookie mama. Me kind of try dig, but a be a stone, did it? You understand? If the police force relieve the police officer of his service pistol, then, and him have a licensed firearm, then the FLA have to get involved. Because if the police force deem him as being unfit to carry government firearms, then the FLA see him as being unfit as well to carry a licensed firearm. It's a simple maths. Then, based on information, the FLA launched an investigation concerning the matter, completed the investigation, and was in the process of making a decision. The Supreme Court did not order the FLA to return Constable Somerville's firearm to him. The order of the court was for the FLA to make a decision based on the completed investigation within 45 days of the date of the court hearing, the FLA said. Wildman, in the meantime, has maintained that Justice Day had made an order for the FLA to return his client's firearm within 45 days, which has long passed, hence his reason for going back to court. Yo, peace. You have to take bad things, make joke. See, and this is what I want to reason for that little thing I say. For whatever reason, the Jamaica Constabulary Force decided that this police officer should not be issued a service pistol in the execution of his duty as a police officer. And then the JCF would have probably sent a file to the firearm licensing authority And in their investigation, they decided that this man should not possess a licensed weapon. And the weapon was seized and his license revoked. And this man is adamant that him need him gun. You understand? I don't understand that. Interesting to find out. It would be interesting to find out on what grounds the JCF would have relieved him of a service pistol. And what is the nature of the investigation that the FLA would have deemed or seen it fit to relieve him of his licensed firearm. Interesting. But this is Jamaica Terati, isn't it? So peeps, I could talk about some situation now where serious. Imagine you send your child to school, your daughter, and during her time at school, a video was recorded of her being boxed multiple times by a schoolmate. A male schoolmate at that. If you understand what I say. I do not know how the parents in the stream right now would react to that. But I can think of a few ways in which I would be inclined, as a father or the father of that child, to react. See? Because, you see, I don't understand still. I don't understand. So, the Manchester police are investigating a video of a schoolgirl being slapped. She was not slapped. It's not slapped that. She was... So the Manchester police have launched an investigation into an incident captured on video of a male student slapping a female student in the face multiple times at a prominent high school in the parish last Wednesday, June 19th. The video, which has since gone viral on social media, shows the male student using both hands to slap the female student 5 times in the face in front of other students under a tree. The female student was reportedly slapped despite an attempt to get away from the schoolboy, who at one point grabbed her hand. The schoolboy, while physically abusing the female student, could be heard saying, "You know, see me? Don't diss me. That me I tell you. Don't diss me." The video ended with the schoolgirl holding her face. No, peace, I don't know I'm to the audio tonight, but I play it again. Probably is a good thing me had, you know, the desk, because I think I want to expletive in it too. No. As a parent, Zane, how would you have reacted to that video? As a father, how would you have reacted to it? You now box your daughter. And I don't encourage no man to box them daughter. Zane? And you see a schoolboy I box your daughter repeatedly, multiple times. I tell her, say, him not for this her. Then, me I tell you, say, you see, yeah, them say prison never make for dog, you know. And sometimes, some man they are prison where I know criminal them like, but some things happen in life where them have to deal with some things and them end up a prison. I mean, I tell you, say in a situation like that, then me not think prison would have really miss me like that, cause And you see, the sad reality is that these are some of the boys who grew up to become men who are killing women in this country left, right, and center. Head of the Manchester Police, Superintendent Wayne Cameron, said that the police are investigating the incident. We have already gotten statements in this particular incident. We have been making significant strides. We intend to find that youngster and arrest him, Cameron said. He added that the police will also be investigating the approach taken by the school to treat with the incident. We are going to look exactly at what transpired in that school and what measures were taken by the persons responsible at the school to protect that young female at that particular time. Boy. And saying everything good feel good for talk here. I believe in it. I believe in it. Yes, sir. JDF officer shot dead in Clarendon. 2 other persons injured. Are the best picture this I could find a soldier peeps. Condolences to the friends, family, colleagues, associates of the JDF officer. So a member of the Jamaica Defence Force was fatally shot and 2 other men injured in Clarendon on Sunday night. The deceased has been identified as 25-year-old Alan Oswald, otherwise called Bobby. So shortly after 8 o'clock, the men were at a garage in Woodside when a car drove up. Men alighted and opened fire, hitting the soldier and the 2 men. They were taken to hospital where Mr. Oswald died while undergoing treatment, and the other men were hospitalized. Set away. Correctional officer shot dead in St. Andrew. And please, before me even share the details of this story, I would have done a video a while back detailing the situation facing correctional officers in this country. As away from the media, many correctional officers are killed in this country. You probably need to search for that video and watch it. You would be really concerned for persons working in the correctional services in this country. You understand? Because remember, they are really and truly dealing with hardened criminals, in many instances murders. And some of the correctional officers really and truly abuse their authority and power while inside the penal institution. And as such, they become targets when they are outside. Many correctional officers also reside in the same communities from which these men who are now incarcerated hails from. And they are sometimes forced to take things to these men, and upon refusal are sometimes killed. You understand? Someone while them in a prison probably wants certain things done and them can't get it done because of a correctional officer. And so a correctional officer's life is placed on the clock. You understand what I say? So it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy job. I do not know the circumstances in which this correctional officer would have been murdered. You understand? But I just shared a local background literature review type thing they would know. So you can search for that video. You know, watch the video and get the views them to me. I don't want to. A long time I not cussing you know. Correctional officer shot dead in St. Andrew. Zin? So information is that the correctional officer was shot and killed in Pembroke Hall, St. Andrew, Sunday afternoon. So he has been identified as 25-year-old Travis Anderson, and Mr. Anderson's firearm was taken by his attackers. Unconfirmed information that I would have received is that he would have moved into said community not long ago, and his car was broken into a few days prior to his murder. So I don't know. Could it just be a case of just robbery and robbery again, or persons knew him and knew what he did and them something there. So his firearm was taken as well. So I don't know. Things that away. Yeah, peeps. I'm gonna share some stories I know where really and truly you have to do shake it. You have to do shake it. Let me get back that scene there so I can change out. That's up here. And go so. See? Boom. Yeah. Think of this more shape, man. Kinda look blurry. I'm good in focus. This man on the chair. Ali Dan says a gun game. We've seen a situation now, peeps, where dengue outbreak would have occurred earlier this year and a number of persons would have died. Information is now suggesting that a 9-year-old child would have died from symptoms related to dengue fever, and as such, the shadow minister, the opposition spokesperson on health, Dr. Dayton Campbell, has declared that there is a dengue outbreak and is calling on the health minister to accept his declaration and then deal with it after that. You understand? Campbell says 9-year-old has died from dengue fever as he raises questions. Yeah? So the Shadow Minister of Health, Dr. Dayton Campbell, is raising questions about whether the country is in the midst of a second dengue outbreak. I hope not. And wants the Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, to state whether this is so. Campbell's call comes in the wake of the death of a 9-year-old child at the Falmouth Hospital, reportedly from dengue. Condolences to the family of the youngster. His name has not been made available. In a statement issued on Wednesday, the Shadow Minister said he has been reliably informed that the pediatric ward at the Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James is full and overflowing with suspected cases of the fever. It is in the best interest of the nation that the minister does not delay confirmation of the presence of another dengue outbreak to the nation because it has already claimed one life. And I agree with Mr. Campbell. If there's an outbreak, then we should know. He's urging Tufton to immediately update the nation as to the status of dengue as, according to him, this new cluster of cases shows 11 confirmed incidents. Parents, vulnerable groups and the nation at large need to know if there's an outbreak so they can take the necessary steps to save lives by responding appropriately to the early symptoms, he said. This cluster of dengue cases could be the first signs of a second such outbreak this year or in a year. And that brings into question the effectiveness of the eradication program of the ministry, Campbell noted. He suggested that the ministry has not done a good job in eradicating the mosquito that carries the dengue virus. While we know that the host mosquito is a domestic Aedes aegypti, and that people have a role to play in its eradication, if the ministry had a sustained eradication and education program, it would go a far way in stemming the frequency of these outbreaks, Campbell declared. In light of the drought facing the nation, the Shadow Minister is reminding Jamaicans to store water in a safe way, ensure that storage containers are covered, and that a teaspoon of bleach is added to large containers of water. Good advice from the Shadow Minister, and he is raising some very valid points as well. However, In counter to that, the Ministry of Health has responded. There is no outbreak of dengue fever on the island at this time, according to the Minister of Health and Wellness, Christoph Tan. So the minister gave the assurance on Thursday while addressing one place. You understand, the Noel Holmes Hospital in Lucy. He was responding to calls from the opposition spokesman on Wednesday to address whether or not there's an outbreak. But according to Tufton, there's no need for alarm. Tufton is always cool under pressure, you never know. He said since January of this year, when we had a dengue outbreak, when it peaked, we have seen a steady decline over those months into May of this year. When we had the last monthly data, it was below outbreak status or threshold. So there is no dengue outbreak. And Tufton said that the ministry has been on alert in terms of ensuring that they monitor and respond to the trends. He said during the hurricane season, which runs until November the 30th, the government will be embarking on a number of programs, including a public education initiative to raise awareness about mosquito breeding sites. You see, I appreciate what Dr. Dayton Campbell is doing here. That is part of his role as opposition spokesman on health. I sincerely hope that the information that is being disseminated by the Minister of Health is actually correct. And whether or not the threshold is reached, the reality is that if there are cases of dengue fever, then an outbreak is possible. So I hope that some form of alacrity is exercised, and whatever campaign, whether eradication or education campaign, is being addressed forthwith, and no more lives will be lost to this situation, dengue outbreak situation. And as I would have said repeatedly during the last outbreak, yes, we need the government to do things and the Ministry of Health to do things. But I think it is incumbent on us as citizens, private citizens, to help with the fight and the eradication of mosquito breeding sites. We know the do's and the don'ts. So we can't sit down and wait on government to do every single thing. We have to take some responsibility as citizens for our own health and our own well-being. And make sure environment balance. Shaki, good night, Empress. It's good to see you. I know a thing, man. I hope you're alright, You understand what I say? I hope you're good. Zane, so it is incumbent on us to ensure that our environment is sterile, to ensure that our environment is free from areas where mosquito can breed, not breathe. You understand? So, yeah, we need to take some responsibility too. Hopefully, there is no outbreak, as the minister said. Hopefully, these are just some isolated cases. But the Aedes aegypti mosquito is still here and will remain here. And the conditions for breeding and the proliferation of the species exist. So, you know what I think? Make we see what go on. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I have shared so many stories on this live stream and in individual videos about men in Jamaica killing their spouse, then killing themselves. We see a situation this time where it never come off as it was designed. Attempted murder-suicide rocks Lawrence Tavern. A St. Andrew family, though still in shock, is breathing a sigh of relief as their youngest sibling regained consciousness after her common-law husband, 25-year-old Jermaine Mackenzie, took his own life. So the man is dead, but the woman is alive. Thinking he had strangled her to death yesterday morning. As news of the bizarre incident spread, it sent ripples through the usually quiet and remote farming community of Lawrence Tavern. She has a short-term memory and is not remembering clearly. She cannot pinpoint anything. She remembers being strangled. She knows the things from the past like her family and maybe her parents' number, but she don't even know that today, well, she don't even know today's date. The would-be victim older sister said. You understand? The young lady would have been discharged from hospital. Thankfully, thank God she's alive. She mentioned Jermaine and we told her that he's dead, but I am not sure she understands. Whoa. It is understood that minutes before 5 a.m., neighbors heard rumblings coming from the house. The noise sounded more like somebody had a had a fit and in a seizure. I did not know what to do, a resident said. When nobody emerged from the room as the couple customarily leaves early for work, a resident decided to check on them. We not get no answer when we are not. We said this not look right. This was about after 8. We made checks. We pulled the back door and we see blood and the room was in darkness, the neighbor said. Further checks were done and the woman, who is said to have been the youngest of 11 children, was seen motionless under the bed. With the in the room, Anna says she dead, and it's like she hear and start move her foot, and we draw her out from under the bed, and we say he must be in the house. When we look behind the door, we see him hanging from the closet. Another person added. The police were summoned and took the woman to seek medical attention. The police theorized that Lawrence had stilts. Well, the police who were summoned theorized that Lawrence had slit his wrist before hanging himself. So I guess him that try bleed out. See, the sister said, well, we don't see no injury. She couldn't speak and was pointing to her back. All we see around her was vomit and feces, one of the first responders said. The sister said the family was having a hard time processing the unfortunate events. The entire family is distraught. You see this happening all the time, and never once think it would reach your doorstep. It is 11 of us born from the same mother and father. We just have to be strong for her and protective. We are going to ensure she gets grief counseling and a psychiatric evaluation. The residents say they never saw this incident coming as they thought the two were deeply in love and was a model couple. Me see them go buy ice cream and walk together all the time and thing. We're shocked. And just last night him go buy food for the two of them and go in. So we're shocked for wake up this morning in the community. Set away, yo. I hope that the young lady will have no permanent damage from the incident, whether physically or mentally. Because I mean, if you're strangled, oxygen will be cut off from your brain for a little while. So that's a possibility. I hope that she'll be okay. I hope that she will regain her memory in very short order, and hopefully she will be able to lead a normal life in very short order. Manchester teen remanded for allegedly abducting and raping 11-year-old girl. Remember, at the same Manchester parish where the youth boxed the girl a million times. A 16-year-old boy who allegedly abducted and raped an 11-year-old schoolgirl and knocked her unconscious after the act was remanded in custody when he appeared in the Manchester Parish Court on Wednesday. The accused teenager, whose real name cannot be released because of his age, has been charged with several offences by police investigators stemming from the incident which occurred last week. The teen is charged with rape, forcible abduction, assault occasioning grievous bodily harm, grievous sexual assault, and being a child in need of care and protection. He is to reappear in court on July 18. The police reported that on Tuesday, June 18th, the girl was on her way home from school in Newport, Manchester, when she was abducted and dragged into bushes, allegedly by the male teenager. She was then raped and, following the sexual ordeal, was knocked unconscious. The child was later found and had to be hospitalized for the injuries she sustained. The teenager was arrested after a probe into the matter and was subsequently charged after he was pointed out at an identification parade. The parish of Manchester has seen several reported rape cases this year, some of which has involved gang assaults being committed by males, including teenagers. Not even in a transition for that one, because that one is not much different. "57-year-old man remanded on charge of raping 7-year-old Manchester girl." A man who is alleged to have raped a 7-year-old girl from his community in Manchester earlier this month was remanded in custody when he appeared in the parish court on Wednesday. The accused man is 57-year-old Kenneth Robinson, alias Patrick, of Spring Ground in the parish. He will remain in custody of the police until July 29th, when the case is again to be mentioned. Allegations are that on Wednesday, June the 12th, Robinson sexually assaulted the female child in the Spring Ground area. The incident was reported to the police and he was arrested following a probe by investigators. He was later charged. So a total of 9 rape cases have been recorded in Manchester since the start of the year, according to the police. "57-year-old man, 7-year-old child. Teenage boy, 11-year-old girl. Manchester. Man a boy a box girl left, right and center. Manchester. Teacher granted bail on charge of raping student at school. A 36-year-old male teacher at a prominent high school in Westmoreland, who was last week arrested and charged for allegedly raping a 16-year-old female student of the institution, was granted bail in the sum of $500,000 with surety when he appeared in the Westmoreland Parish Court on Tuesday. The accused, Jerome Heron, is booked to return to court on July 24th. He was ordered to surrender his travel documents and to report to the Savannah Lamar police station on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays as conditions of his bail. He was also ordered to stay away from working where there are girls of age 16 years or below. According to police reports, the offense was allegedly committed at the school on Friday, February 1, 2019. The Westmoreland police said further investigations are being conducted into sexual-related offences that have reportedly been committed against other female students at the same educational institution. Oh boy. Peace. Let me get the thing I cheered. I don't want to the man in the country are still peeps. You understand what I say? I don't really know what I'm doing. Because when you think when you think you see the worst of us as Jamaicans, it tend to get worse very quickly, don't it? But I don't know. So the car behind me is a car that was involved in a motor vehicle accident recently. I need to come on that. They realize you look on there's no license plate on the car. That is interesting. This car was involved in an accident where a female was hit fatally. Car was being operated as a taxi. But then it kind of get dicey like. You understand? Suspicion surrounds crash that killed woman on Washington Boulevard. So the police have launched a probe into why the license plate were removed, plates for that matter, were removed from the vehicle that is believed to have been involved in a crash in which a woman was mowed down and killed close to a busy intersection on Washington Boulevard in St. Andrew on Tuesday night. See? And thing. Brocardi, as in Brocardi. Zane, good night, Empress. Really and truly appreciate the thoughtfulness and your generosity. The contribution means a lot. Thanks so much, Princess. Zane, oh, Brocardi look like a Renee though, so. I don't know. Zane? 2 months sexual devices, and it's all targeted at defenseless children. And things that way Miss Andrea D. Rough. You understand me? I say sad. Cruel. Auntie. The police said that the deceased has been identified as 44-year-old Patricia Russell, a cosmetologist of Bromley in Kingston 20. So a number of persons at the time of the crash said that they thought that the female was an elderly person, but she's only 44. Reports are that about 8 p.m. No, it wasn't stolen in a North Point. Me soon give some info. See? Reports are that about 8 p.m. Russell was trying to cross Washington Boulevard close to the Waymouth Drive intersection when she was struck down by a vehicle. Taxi driver, man. No, it's Bridget, and you're welcome, teach. Okay, Brocardi. That's her, as in Bridget Whittingham. I'm not sure. So, tell me, Empress. Zane, so disturbing reports surface that after the impact, well, before I reach there, sir, the lady was trying to cross the road when the vehicle slammed into her, said an alleged eyewitness. Disturbing reports surfaced that after the impact, the injured woman called out for help, but was ignored by some passers-by who were more focused on capturing video footage of the incident. I'm going to read that again. No, okay, me give up, Empress. My sincere apologies. There used to be a viewer one time that goes by that name, but blessings, Empress Brocardi. Disturbing reports surfaced that after the impact, the injured woman was calling out for help, but was ignored by my Jamaican brothers and sisters, who were more focused on capturing video footage of the incident. I don't know, DS. I don't know. Probably because I don't know. So the possibility here, peeps, is that this lady might have survived, if she was afforded help immediately after she was hit. Because 30 seconds can make the difference between life and death. 1 minute can make the difference between life and death. You understand what I say? A second can mean the difference between life and death. And I have said this before, and I say it again. I sincerely hope that I am never on the road and is in need of the help of my Jamaican brothers and sisters for my life to be saved. Because there's almost a 9 out of 10 chance that I will die. Worse, if them recognize me and claim so them know me from YouTube. You understand? I'll be a phone in your face. On the scene of accident involving popular Jamaican YouTuber, teach them. Yeah, that's what I think there. I hope I not have to depend on my Jamaicans to save my life one day, because set away. But the story not done it enough, peeps. See what going on now. As new details on the incident emerged, there are reports that the police have launched an investigation into how the license plate on the vehicle that is believed to have hit the woman were removed at the scene of the crash. You hear that? The license plates from said vehicle were removed from the vehicle after the vehicle hit and killed the woman. According to a police source, the vehicle, which was being operated as a taxi, is believed to be the unit that mowed down Russell. The police source said if the above information is true, it would not only be a serious breach of the law, but listen to this now, peeps, but the development would signal the detection of a method being used by persons to try and throw off investigators on the question of who owns motor vehicles that are involved in serious collisions. So that's how we're going as people, you know. Interestingly, the official police report on the incident made no mention of whether or not the driver of the vehicle at the center of the collision was held, and whether or not the crash car at the scene was the one that hit the now deceased woman. So from one accident to one next accident of some sorts. I mean, sorry guys, sinus kind of ears has been scratching. Body of child reportedly pushed into Kingston Harbour recovered. The police have confirmed that the body of the schoolboy, who was reportedly playfully pushed into the waters of the Kingston Harbour last Friday, has been recovered. Reports from the city centre police are that the body of 14-year-old Kennard Stevenson was fished from the harbour late on Saturday. Reports are that about 11 a.m. the child was with friends behind the Bank of Jamaica in downtown Kingston. Indications are that during conversation, he told his friends that he was unable to swim. And he was subsequently playfully pushed into the water, where he got into difficulties. Reports are that the friends ran from the scene upon seeing the boy's desperate attempts to save his life. A 24-hour search was subsequently conducted, and the body of the child was found the following day. Can you imagine as a parent, you get the news that your child would have drowned because his friends playfully pushed him into the Kingston Harbour? condolences to the family of young Kennedy Stevenson. I don't know as we tell the parents them say. I don't know how those little boys will live with themselves going forward though. You understand? Why I don't know. Peeps, on screen is a picture of, I think, Jarrett Lane and head of the Corporate Communications Unit of the Jamaica Constabulary Forces, CCU, and also head of the Kingston Eastern Police, Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay. I know Eastern Kingston, Rockfort, the whole of them place there. Them GX Road, Jarrett Lane, all about. Mountain View, I think, also. Problem, left, right, and center. Zin? So Rockfort under siege. Again. I'm sorry to hear about your friend, Brocardi. Really sorry to hear. Gang violence leaves at least 2 dead, several injured, and an entire community in fear following the murder of a former Don. I don't think they will be charged in a Brocardi. I doubt they will be charged. Because the youngster is what? 14 years old. I guess his friends would probably be in his age group as well, his peers really. So I don't know that anybody there will be charged. I guess they were playing. But I could be wrong. You know, the human in me, I suggest that I hope none of them is charged either. I suggest that the trauma that they will experience would be punishment enough for them. I know that the parents of the deceased might think otherwise, but I hope that they're not charged. People disagree with that, but that's just how I look at the situation. It's really and truly unfortunate. But I could see it gonna. Former Don. I'm a Don. I know he's Don Avani from the Don. Nothing, why? I'm done. Residents of Rockfort in East Kingston are once again cowering in fear as another round of violence rocks the community. But this time, the residents say the fear is greater as there is no clear indication of where the gangsters are based and where the imaginary borderlines have been drawn. According to residents, in the past, they were well aware of who were the warring factions. As was the case last year when gangsters from Oliver Road and the neighboring Jarrett Lane were at odds. But this time, shot a fire over Dessa, and all about in the community shots of fire. I don't know where me no hear shots of fire last night, which was Tuesday night, said a handful of residents. Tuesday the shot them start fire from about 6 o'clock in the evening, and it never done until after 6 Wednesday morning, the residents added. Cookie Mama said, Dan Key. Rockfort done. It crumble and it can't come back. Every time something happen here, instead it get little better, it get worse. Every minute is a different area. When I know Jarrett Lane man them a kill off the whole away. No, a Shanty man them and a whole bag of thing. Said another resident as she pointed to the area where the latest murder took place in the community on Monday. The residents say the violence started with the killing of a former community strongman, Charlie Wapp, last Friday. This was confirmed by recently installed head of the Kingston Eastern Police Division, Stephanie Lindsay, who identified Charlie Wapp as Christopher Thomas. He would have had his fair share of contact with the law. He was charged with various offenses in the past, including murder and shooting, and was reporting on condition of bail for illegal possession of a firearm, Lindsay said. Listen to this now, peeps. Based on our information, he was killed by gang members who he was in conflict with. But based on his influence in the community, we are seeing a different type of gang conflict happening in Rockfort, which has a number of gangs and organized criminal groups. Following the killing of Charlie Wapp, gang members took sides with those opposed to his killing, joining forces against those who believe he should have been killed. So in this case, it is like the entire Rockfort gangsters have become two gangs or a coalition of gangsters engaged in violent conflict. Lindsay added. Sorry guys. It is believed that the members of the Shanty and Corner One gangs have joined forces to avenge Charlie Wapp's killing, while members of between 6 and 8 gangs are defending it. According to Lindsay, since the latest flare-up, the police have been getting reports of groups of 15 to 20 men with high-powered weapons roaming the streets. Since last Friday, on a daily basis, we have been getting reports of heavy gunfire. We have had instances where police teams have also come under attack from these heavily armed men. Lindsay acknowledged that the shooting have left residents in fear and charged that this have been compounded by an influx of criminals from outside the community who have been brought in to bolster the Rockfort-based gangs. Sinus, give me a 5 peeps. We have carried out several operations and arrested a number of persons, some wanted for murder, and many of them were engaged in criminal activities outside of Rockfort, said Lindsay. As she noted that the man killed in Rockfort yesterday morning was reporting to the Westmoreland police as he was on bail for crimes committed in the parish. The police superintendent said despite the challenges, the police are working to stem the violence in the community, with the first target being to reduce the frequent gunfire. First target is... never mind. The police are in charge of law and order in this country, and we are not going to relent. We will utilize all the resources we have to ensure that this level of violence is reduced, Lindsay said. She said the police have identified a number of suspects in the ongoing conflict, but are only ready to release the names of Andrew Facey, otherwise called Andrew Pang, and Little Andrew, who is wanted in connection with a murder. Lindsay said the East Kingston police are getting support from other police units and the Jamaica Defence Force, but they also need the help of residents. We are willing to work with all the residents, and we want to engage them more because they know more than we know. And if they don't share the information that they have, we will not be in a position to quickly treat the situation. Since the start of the year, the police in Kingston Eastern Division have arrested and charged more than 30 people for murders and shootings. The police have also seized more than 20 illegal firearms, including 4 in the Rockfort area over the past 2 weeks. So the Rockfort situation don't really end with Stephanie Lindsay here, so, you know. You understand? It kind of did get look bigger than that. Because, you know, the MP for East Kingston is none other than the man who I have branded the most scandal-hit politician of all times. Vice President of the People's National Party and president aspirant one day, I suppose, Philip Palwell. You understand? This is the best picture I could have found. Me even do some editing to kind of brush it up. With Palwell and Warmington in a one picture. No, in Parliament, Philip Palwell went to Parliament crying for help for his constituency. As he's saying that his constituency or his constituents are cowering in fear and criminals are marauding and them something there. You understand? And Everald Warmington rush him in a Parliament like and tell him say some things. I'm going to talk to him about it. Everald Warmington, you know, I would have done an individual video for Warmington one at the time. Ask which woman hurt him because him seem to have a thing against women in my opinion. You understand? Or I don't think him feel like women are supposed to be in situation of authority or power. But that's the next story for you next time. Warmington tells opposition MPs to rein in gangsters. Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Catherine, Everald Warmington, drew the anger of his opposition colleagues on Tuesday with remarks about gang violence in certain corporate area constituencies. Warmington suggested that some members of Parliament in constituencies in Kingston and St. Andrew are unable to control the high levels of crime plaguing communities under their control and appeared to indicate that the problem was more pronounced in areas represented by MPs from the opposition People's National Party. A thirsty. He was speaking in the House of Representatives, yes, Parliament, you know, the Garden House, on a motion for adjournment brought by a Member of Parliament for East Kingston and Port Royal, Philip Palwell, during which Palwell highlighted an alarming increase in both murders and shooting in his constituency. Some of the same places that we just talked about earlier in the previous story. Jarrett Lane, Oliver Road, Albert. You understand me? I say Rockford, aren't they? The formal reports reveal that the incidence of murder has risen by 33% since the start of the year, and that the incidence of shootings has increased by 450% since the start of the year, Palwell said. He noted that the Rockford community was the most problematic in the constituency. The five-term MP told the House that what was being perpetrated on his constituents was nothing short of terror, and that gunmen had ventured into the community from as far away as St. James, where a state of emergency is currently in force. When he rose to speak, Warmington at first expressed sympathies to Palwell, Warmington tricky, who had earlier shared comments and text messages from his constituents, who told him that they were cowering in fear at nights from the constant bombardment of gunfire. One constituent, in a message sent around 3:37 a.m., called for a buffer zone to be placed between the warring factions. But Warmington was not sympathetic for long. What I realize is that, see, soldiers just run me off of the road, so I have to come in, can't drink or smoke in peace because of criminals. Sorry about that daily game, but probably for the best, you know what I mean? Zane, probably need to take time with the smoking to still. Well, teach, you know, Rockford Mountain if you want to play a thing. A true thing. Yeah, but I have a few questions for Mr. Warmington, but I reach street it, you know, just hold on. You know, they beat people with a easy with belt. See? Alright. This is what Warmington have to say, you know. What I realize is that maybe the political representative doesn't have the know-how or what have you to control those thugs. But I don't see it happening in other constituencies, he remarked. That constituency does not have the political division or divide, whereby you could say that it is a JLP fighting the PNP. That constituency is controlled totally by one party, Warmington insisted. He pointed out that East Kingston and Port Royal was won by the JLP on a single occasion, just the 1980 general election, in which the party won by a landslide, and you know why. See, if you look at the voting pattern in that constituency, it is a total PNP. It is total PNP. Therefore, what you have is PNP fighting PNP. And with a PNP member of parliament, you should control it. He said to Paulwell, who responded with utter nonsense. But Warmington persisted, stating, there are no JLP gangs in that constituency. They are all PNP gangs. We should never allow the creation of any gang from one party or the other, especially when the seat is controlled by one party. It should never be encouraged. At this point, Paulwell rose on a point of order. I take very strong exception to the member misleading the parliament about how gangs are formed. I can say without any fear of contradiction that I never and would never support political gangs of any kind in my constituency, he said. However, a defiant Warmington told Paulwell that most of you know who the gang members are, so turn them in. Meanwhile, South St. Catherine MP and Shadow Minister of National Security Fitzjackson was visibly upset when he rose to speak. I want to outrightly reject the assertions by the member from Southwest St. Catherine. It is unfortunate. The police report tells you that most of the murders in Jamaica are being committed by gangs. The highest crime areas in Jamaica has been in Montego Bay, St. James, Jackson said. He added, is he asserting that the members of parliament in that parish are responsible for the gangs that are committing the murders in those constituencies? That is the inference he's making, and it is irresponsible, and he should withdraw that remark. You know what I mean? Withdraw that remark. See, Jackson stated that criminals must be treated as criminals, regardless of whichever party that they may give support to. Of note is that 4 of the 5 constituencies in St. James are represented by MPs from the Jamaica Labour Party. In the meantime, according to Paulwell, based on his interactions with the police, he is convinced that they need greater support to carry out their duties. He said a military presence is also needed to augment the efforts of the police, as well as equipment to augment the work that the officers are performing on the ground. It's a funny thing, but here we go on now. I don't like to ask Mr. Warmington a few things. Because Old Harbour Bay kind of not, it's not the nicest places in the world, Mr. Warmington. And being that you is the member of parliament for the constituency in which Old Harbour and Old Harbour Bay fall, me I wonder if because you can't control the gangs them in the constituency neither. Me just ask. For example, again, Uncle Mike Henry, you understand, the man who used to power with Moses them back in the days, Zane and Daniel and Ezekiel them. He is the member of parliament for one big part of St. Catherine, include Clarendon Farm, Fort Billy, all of them place there. Yeah, Mineral Heights, all of them place there, where people are dead left, right and center. So me them want to know if a gang thing down at Clarendon there too, and Father Mike Henry now do nothing about it. So Warmington have to be careful what he must say. Even though he must say some things where he need to say. You understand what I say? So is he suggesting then that anywhere you have gangs operate at the political reason behind it and the MP them a fool to it. But Mr. Warmington constituency not free from crap neither, because as me I say all Harbour be there no nice like that. So Mr. Warmington, what say you? You understand? DS literally said teach who Mike Henry used to power with. Mike Henry about 110 in a DS. A true in last in birth certificate. I met you say Mike Henry schoolmate. Man, they used to go to Bible school together. Yeah, so I know that Nazareth and name place. See? I don't know the foolishness I know yeah, peeps, cause you know what I think. Remember that camera there? It's getting hot in here. So take off, you know what I mean? Your jacket and them things. Peeps, Jamaica recorded the highest temperature on records since temperature was recorded in Jamaica ever. Last week, Saturday. 39.1 degrees Celsius. You understand? When I was a boy, and that wasn't as long ago as I think. I told me one trim, you know. Like, you understand? When I was a boy, and I used to watch the weather. I used to watch the weather every night. For some strange reason. I used to watch it everything about news every night. Auntie. The average temperature for Jamaica, the high used to be like 27 degrees Celsius. It probably go like 28, 29 from time to time. But average temperature would have been in the region of 27 degrees Celsius. Thereabout. No, the average temperature for Jamaica about 35 degrees Celsius daily. And you want to see summer just start last week, the 21st. That was the summer solstice season in the northern hemisphere. So it means, you know, the hottest part of the summer is normally like late July into August. So we're not seeing nothing yet. And from a geography teacher standpoint, and somebody who would have done environmental science at another level, then I can suggest to you that this is just the beginning as per climate change and global warming. And as such, we need to understand that this is not something that is a one-off thing. You would have realized that every summer keeps getting warmer. As a matter of fact, when I was a boy growing up, like in and around Christmas time and Christmas Eve them time, they're cold. Not even cold and cold. No, yeah, sweat at Christmas time. And like we have a major distinction in our seasons in Jamaica. But the place normally get a little cool at Christmas time. You understand? Which is the beginning of winter. You know, the winter solstice is December 21st, 22nd, 23rd, depending on the year. You understand what I say? And thing. So, it's something, I know enough people now pay attention to it, but as somebody who is in tune with geography and environmental science, we kind of pay attention to these things. Saying climate change is a real thing. It is something that is happening. Global warming is a real thing. It is something that is happening and will continue to happen. You understand what I say? So we see hot spell hits Jamaica as Kingston reaches record temperature. Jamaica is in the middle of a sizzling hot spell, during which temperatures have soared to record levels. In fact, the days have become so stiflingly muggy that a healthy individual would flirt with heat stroke if they do not remain properly hydrated. And on Saturday, the mercury in the capital hit a sizzling 39.1 degrees Celsius, the highest temperature ever recorded in Kingston. The Met Office confirmed that temperatures, especially those in Kingston, have reached new sweltering heights. It is a hot spell, not a heat wave. Hot spell is an extended period of higher than normal temperature, while a heat wave is the hottest days on record and lasts more than 5 days, Glenroy Brown, climate services specialist, said. Jamaica has hot spells between June to August, and it can be compounded with the Saharan dust and high pressure ridge. That is why we are having higher than normal temperature. Remember that a large amount of Saharan dust would have traveled across the Atlantic Ocean from the west coast of Africa into the Caribbean region recently, and that also would have been affecting climatic conditions. Yeah? Through the period of June 18 to 22, temperatures across Jamaica had increased significantly in some areas when compared to last year due to the presence of the Saharan dust. Of a total of 14 stations that were examined from across the island, 6 had recorded higher temperatures this year compared to last year. See? So we don't need to get into the detail. The thing is that the place I get hot like. Yeah, so let me say, and the place is getting so hot now where it think take a turn for the worse. Hospitals are now seeing patients with heat-related illness. Across Europe now, it is sweltering. People dying from heat stroke, left, right, and center. So we still have to give thanks to a little piece of rock. It a warm up, but you know, it's not the worst. At least 3 public hospitals are reporting that since last week, their emergency departments have been receiving several patients with heat-related illnesses as Jamaica experiences above normal temperatures. And the cases involve children and adults. This was confirmed by Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bisesa Mackenzie in response to queries. She said, I have checked with emergency rooms and I have gotten reports from the Kingston Public Hospital, the Bustamante Hospital, and the St. Ansby Hospital that children had nosebleeds. This could have resulted from dryness of the nostrils that can occur in exposure to heat. The adults suffered from heat exhaustion, she said. So, that's a go on, peeps. You understand? And then, this is just a part of it. And remember that we are in the Atlantic Hurricane Basin. And between June 1 to November 30 every year and beyond, we are in the firing line for hurricanes. And with temperatures so sweltering so early in the hurricane season, it would simply mean that the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea by extension will get excessively warm. And the slightest disturbance in the basin may lead to catastrophic hurricanes. That is just the reality. And with climate change and the proliferation and increase in global warming, then you can understand that there will be more frequent hurricanes, there will be stronger hurricanes. Just the reality that we're facing as a country. You understand what I say? And then the whole advent of sea level rise as temperatures become warmer, ice caps and glaciers will melt, so sea level will rise that way. That is just one way in which sea level rise, and people think that's the only way, but no. You also have what we call thermal expansion. What happens is that as temperature rises, water molecules start to expand. So the heat causes expansion. So as the sea temperature increases, the water molecules expand. So as the water molecule expand, there need to be a larger physical space to accommodate the oceans. But because there is not enough lateral space, the water starts to accumulate, so sea level will rise that way as well. So with sea level will rise because glaciers and ice caps are melting, it also rise because of thermal expansion. And as sea level rise, low-lying coastal areas will become inundated. You understand? There will have to be massive relocation. Places like Jamaica will depend upon tourism. Many of these white sandy beaches will cease to exist because they will be submerged. Coral reefs will become bleached and die because as sea level rise, corals will go deeper. And the deeper down corals are, the greater the likelihood that sunlight will not be able to penetrate. So photosynthesis won't occur, fish won't be able to survive, so the fish stocks will decrease, fishermen will start to struggle. Many of the Caribbean islands are made up of permeable rock, especially limestone. So sea level rise, seawater will infiltrate and percolate, coming in contact with groundwater. Groundwater becomes saline or brown. One only person. You understand me? I say more spread of diseases and thing. Species will start to disappear because they are not able to adapt and adjust to the changes as quickly as they are happening. So it's a whole level of change. I could go on a geo class tonight, but one next time. You understand? Me almost gone for summer break, you know. Lack of a teaching side of the brain. So peeps, the thing rough. You have to stay hydrated. You understand what I say? You have to try to remain cool and thing. And I know JPS are going to eat a food in summer because I know some people are going to buy some AC. I just, the reality, I think that. Yeah, man. Matthew Parchment. Yeah, man. I am a high school geography teacher. And thing. Yeah. You thought. to the shot there. Yes, Jamaica land we love need some protection from the father up above. And the whole Saharan does go pose the next problem. Because you're a Saharan does go do again. It go like large pan light wires and thing, and then light go start go and thing, and JPs go grow and clean off the wire them and all sort of manner evil. I don't know what are the implications for a person who suffer from respiratory ailments and illnesses as it relates to the Saharan dust. For do some research about that. I should know that, but I don't know it. You can't know everything like it. I big, but you can't appreciate, you can't hold everything. Yeah, man, ready again now, peace. Make we move on. So you know, say Jamaicans, I don't think there's a single thing that Jamaicans love more than cell phones, based on my observation. You know what I mean? And thing. So, thanks, Ingrid. Zane, we see in a situation now where Jamaicans, no matter where them there, them just want phone and look at Wi-Fi. Wireless fidelity. You know what I mean? For the people that never know Wi-Fi, I mean, I teach, it means wireless fidelity. You understand? And thing. So whether we're there road or we're there home or we are incarcerated, we want to cell phones. We see in a situation where a video would have been made available by someone who would have recorded a police officer revealing some of the ingenious or one of the ingenious ways that criminals are receiving these telecommunication devices while they are in Jamaica's penal institutions. Zane, so I'm going to share with you one of the, I did a video on this. I know some people not see that video there yet still. But thing. I know the audio, I don't know on to the audio piece. So now if you just look, I can go and talk over. Because I don't know on to the audio. You understand what I say? It has a yes, so play through speaker, play through this. I don't know what the problem is. You understand? I don't know if I can hear with that. Let me try. I don't know. Boom. I don't know what the problem. But right now when I look on this lady, so she have this water buckle. So what the man them do, you know, is cut off the bottom of our water buckle and the top and slide it down over our next water buckle like I want skirt like. And them keep on the label on the first bottle, place the phones and the battery there, so then slide on the next one over it. Almost undetectable. So it was discovered during the search of a cell. You understand? And then here why this is so dangerous now, peeps. Many persons have died in this country from calls made from prisons. Man call them friends, say that them on the need for dead, so that them on the dead. Man call them friends, say XYZ and the thing done. Many man they are prisoner run off gangs from prison, said we how them run off gangs and them on pen pal system. You understand me I say? Boy, I don't know still. See? I don't know. You understand? So this is really and truly a dangerous situation. You see, I wonder if I unplug my phone and plug it in, but no, get the audio and thing. Because this is supposed to show up here, so.
This was found during a search upstairs in cell 2. Personnel, you have to be vigilant. Look at Miss Bramfield doing the surgery now. 2 water bottles joined together. Cell phone and battery phone in it. Go on,
Start.
Yeah. Go on. It's dark. Watch it. This was found during a search upstairs in cell 2. Personnel, you have to be vigilant. Look at Miss Bramfield doing the surgery now. 2 water bottles joined together. Cell phone and battery phone in it. Prisoners are very, very skilled. Very.
I have to bust the bottle of water, man. I'll slice it off. So them put this so I'm going to see this and think about it.
So it's a phone and a battery, Bramfield?
Phone and 2 batteries.
2 batteries, okay. What type of phone is that?
And then cut off the bottom. Nokia.
Nokia.
And just drop it down like one skirt. That's it.
It's a couple of things here. The person who recorded the video should not have recorded the officer's face. By the time you get the video, they might not send me by the eye the face. You understand? The lady even stated her name. I think that is dangerous, and they, as police officers, they should have been smarter than that. And thing, but it is just showing you the fight, the challenges currently plaguing the penal institution. And as I said, many criminals, the reality is that persons die in Jamaica because order were given by criminals from behind bars for their deaths, especially witnesses in cases and them something there. You understand what I say? So it really and truly dangerous. Here me go do before we move on and all do a piece, because remember, I play a couple of videos earlier. I don't never did that hear them. I'm gonna try to play the one with the PEP situation. Phone the ear go on. I think this returns, so I can
scores and using them to rank and place the students. It is important to note that the higher the placement score, the better the student performed. Scaled scores. Scaled scores are used to report students' achievement of the National Standards Curriculum NSC. Scaled scores are derived by taking the number of questions a student answered correctly on each test, then converting these to a common scale that range from 200 to 400. The report will show students' scaled scores in 4 subjects. The scaled scores are directly aligned to achievement level descriptors. They are beginning, developing, proficient, and highly proficient, which detail how well a student has achieved the required scores and using them to rank and place the students.
So
it is important to note that the higher the placement score,
normally
the better the student
you
performed.
get
Scaled scores. Scaled scores are used to report students' achievement of the National Standards Curriculum NSC.
The brother did that talk about the Monday. See, and then the next video, I need to talk to something about the streaming and re-monetization. I know I never hear the audio. I think I'll look with expletive. So I apologize to this channel. I know it's a family show and thing, but listen to this here. Peeps, a brother here back at me. One man were responsible for some things. I'm schoolmate to look like, you see me? And thing. So your piece, when I get the audio, I don't know, look like I just need it because those videos are coming directly from the cell phone. Well, they are on the cell phone, but the phone connected to everything via one cable, and then based on the software I use, it kind of pop up in it, so you know, see what I go on. Technology, yeah? And thing. Yeah. Before I go any further, YouTube has released a new monetization policy where if one dog bark too loud in your video, them demonetize it. It's not really dog still, but there are some things. So for example, if I do a video now about say a man dead, there's a 99% chance say it not go monetize, say not advertiser friendly. All the streams that I have done for about the last 10 streams have not been monetized, advertiser friendly. So the reality is that with the streams, the only money we make from the streams now is from Super Chat. You understand? But you know, the work goes on and things. It's not always about the money. The money important. Because I work. Light bill have to pay, internet bill have to pay, AC have to run, some of that. So you know what I think of. I think we need them. So me write it out. See? I'm write me and stuff. And things. So that's how I think the peeps. So I know said them are going to demonetize this and thing. Not demonetize per se. You're not going to be advertiser friendly. But you know what I think of. I can move on now. We live in a country now, peeps, where I have 2 more stories for share, then I call it a night. I'm going to talk about Peter Phillips Sunday. I'll probably talk about him tonight and thing. You know, from time to time, people at them place of work kind of not turn up to work and then put pressure upon the people them when they are work. You understand? I have had to deal with that on a number of occasions at my place of work. Some department members, I mean, they're entitled to their days. Each person in the department, each teacher is entitled to a number of days based on their level or how long they have been teaching and such. Yeah, but we're seeing a situation now where workers faking illness, which is concerning the JEF boss. So the selling of sick leaves is a case for concern, according to David One. He's on screen, president of the Jamaica Employers Federation. So One said that he has heard rumors of the practice and said it has grave consequences on the country's productivity. There's an impact on productivity if people are getting authorized sick leave if they are not really sick, especially if it occurs frequently. Anything that reduces productivity in the workplace would be a concern to us. One said this practice could be better curtailed if employers are given an indication of the affiliation of their employee when sick leave is brought in. When employees get authorized leave from a medical professional, many times it does not state what is wrong. It just says this person needs sick leave for this amount of time. They should find a way without giving out too much private information, some sort of indication as to what the problem is without violating the patient's right to privacy. I don't know if that's possible. In some cases, some persons are getting extraordinary amounts of leave and there's no declaration as to what the problem is. Meanwhile, Elon Thompson, president of the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association, said he's perturbed at the practice. I have a difficulty with the selling of sick leave per se. It is different if you are under treatment for a condition and you call into your doctor and say, I am not feeling well. The same thing is happening to me again. And him say, alright, come in for a sick leave. It sounds like it is more of a business kind of arrangement that needs to be clear versus if it is a medical practice. From a medical standpoint, I don't think the people should charge solely for just sick leave, just like that. He said that what ought to happen is if somebody is sick, they should go and see a physician. The physician assesses them, and then if it is that sick leave is needed, then it is provided. Whatever charges are ascribed to that situation, that's a different matter. That is up to the physician. You understand? So the story is that some doctors are selling sick leave for 500 Jamaican dollars. You feel like you don't want to go work for 3 days, you just link your doctor, 5 bills, and you're good like that. You understand what I say? And thing. So, right now, many persons are feel the pinch, many institutions are feel the pinch. Because what you go do? If a man say him sick and him give a sick leave, then what you go do about that? You can't do nothing about it. You just take a sick leave and that's how you think of. For the persons who are abusing the sick leave situation, be careful. You ever hear about the man we cry wolf, I know wolf never did it. Be careful of the things that we speak over our lives. If you're not sick, you're not sick. So stop God doctor, go claim say you're sick. When you know say you're not sick, forget sick leave. You might just end up being sick and you can't be treated. Be careful. Your life is a funny thing, you know. And speaking about funny and thing. You see, I came across a story. You understand? Where I don't know. You understand? But please, I don't know if you hear about a little incident where a man was chopped to death recently down a bogue there. See, I wonder which one of them picture you go fit. If none no fit, I just don't use none. You understand? I mean, I really want my... Alright, yeah. So the umbrella, He was chopped and killed in Bogue. But since his murder, you know, a lot of stories are emerging. You understand? And the story them not straight as you'd want some stories to be. Because you different things. As a matter of fact, I see 2 articles today where I say kind of 2 different things. You understand? The fundamentals of the article remain the same, but then some things change. Yeah, things strange. You know, it's a life. Man chopped to death for pretending to be a woman. Question sign. Or it could be say, was a man chopped to death for pretending to be a woman? A St. James man who allegedly pretended to be a female on social media and lured a young man to an apartment at Bogue Village in Montego Bay was chopped to death by the young man. The deceased is of a Bogue Heights address, while the accused is a 23-year-old laborer of Longbain, Portland, and Breadfruit Road in Cathinall, St. James. It is alleged that for several weeks, the laborer has been corresponding with the man via social media and was led to believe that he was corresponding with a female. The man then allegedly invited the laborer to a house at Ocean Boulevard in Bogue Village, still making him believe that he was coming to meet a female. Upon reaching the apartment, the accused was lured inside the house by the deceased, who then allegedly made sexual advances at him. It is further stated that an argument developed between the men, during which the accused reached for a machete and inflicted several chop wounds to the other man's body. The accused was attempting to flee the scene when a friend of the victim discovered his body and raised an alarm. Swift action by the police led to the arrest of the young man. Investigation continues. Since the start of the year, 69 persons have been murdered in Mobile. Interesting number. So that's one report. One next report said, same thing, them been communicate via the internet, and one man a pretend to be a woman when him is really a man. But report one article I say the brother we arrested there now was staying in Bogue with one of him friend, Zane, because him is a security guard. That's the way I said. This is the same labor. One same is a security guard. And said this man, he know after communicating with this with the woman, which turned out to be a man, they would have made arrangements for the woman to come see him at his friend's house because his friend did gone on the road. So reports are that the woman reached there, but then the brother find out that the woman is really a man and thing. But then the next article I say, the woman, which is a man, ended up in the house. If me think me I talk to a woman, I mean, I really buy a pussy in a bag like that neither. You say internet thing and I really work out, you know, you have to be wise. You understand? If me think me I talk to a female, God's best creation, I'm stressing, but I best. And then, when female turn up, I realize that the female is actually a male. That brother can't come into my house or any house me into. So me, I wonder, you know, and I may be naive, you know, but I am wondering, how come, based on the next article, the brother will pretend to be a woman, which is not a woman, end up in the house? Me not understand that still. But the article said them end up, as a matter of fact, let me find the article. I'm going to read it too, because it's not straight. The article not really straight. You understand? And why? Yeah. Find the article and bust a one red pony. It says, dramatic twist in case where St. James man was chopped to death at Bogue Village. So this is the same story, but with a little twist like. So an incident where a man chopped another man to death at Bogue in Montego Bay, St. James, has now taken a dramatic turn after the accused stated that the deceased man made sexual advances at him after tricking him to believe that he was a woman. Now, according to the accused, the dead man, 38-year-old Damian the Django Royce, a front desk clerk employed at the Jewel Resort, pretended to be a female on social media, and he invited him to his friend's home at Bogue Village, Montego Bay, believing that a female was coming over. Yeah, but take bad things with laugh, jokes out there. Watch out now. Yeah. The 23-year-old accused, who is a security guard, remember, one article said him is a laborer, this one says him is a security guard, hails from Long Bay in Portland, said he is presently staying with the owner of the house in Bogue Village. According to the security guard, several weeks ago, he met a female on social media, and he had been corresponding with the mystery woman ever since. On Wednesday, he invited the mystery woman over to his friend's home in Bogue Village, thinking that they would have a good time, as his friend was not home at the time. The accused man related that he was sent into shock when Royce turned up at the house at Ocean Boulevard in Bogue Village, allegedly indicating that he was the mystery female. The security guard further stated that while inside the house, him reach inside the house because I don't know him come there dressed up as a female. You understand what I'm saying? So, if you realize say, a female supposed to come link you and it's a male come link you, him did end up in the house, that is the question that me ask, but alright. The security guard further stated that while inside the house, he went into a rage after he discovered that he was tricked and an argument developed between him and Royce. A machete was brought into play, which was used by the security guard to inflict several chop wounds to Royce's head, face, and other parts of his body. The owner of the house then drove home and became curious upon seeing his home in total darkness. After he entered, he stumbled upon his friend standing over Royce's body and immediately summoned the police. The accused was subsequently arrested. Something about this not straight. As a matter of fact, when I saw the second article I just read, I reached out to the person who was responsible for the page and say, if them see the other article, them say, no, I'm go read it. When him read it, him link me back and say, he know a co-worker of the brother that died. And allegations are that the deceased and the accused actually know each other and they were involved, and what really go on is that the Django, who is the brother sit down on the chair, they really want to stay too near us. I say this man here must they want to end whatever association was going on, and that is how things happen. Brother, you're close to me on the screen, so still, guys. I know I think play the game like a man come to my house and me think is a woman and then him come in my house. Come do what? Ain't sir? A story then I fly. A story then I knowing family. A story that come like one ostrich is a flightless bird. You understand me I say? I don't know what go on. You see him. Peeps! One PNP, powerful together. First Peter. Ready? Yeah, son. You see, First Peter, you know, though. First Peter might have made a wrong move. Let me tell you why First Peter good as make a wrong move, you know. See, I tell me, say, really, this may bring come on the screen and I'm not sure somebody did clip that. Yeah. So I'm an idiot. First Peter has declared that the internal PNP presidential election, you see, shall be held on September the 7th, But funny enough, September the 7th is the birthday of his opponent, second Peter, which is Peter Bunting, with upon the hunting. How can you call one election upon your opponent birthday? That don't make no sense to me, but yeah, some man smarter than me. He's Dr. Peter Phillips, anyway. You understand? So, he has launched his campaign called One PNP, Powerful Together. Peter Phillips launches One PNP campaign as presidential election hits high gear. High gear for Peter Phillips could be about third still, I'm kind of older. High gear for me and you can be about fifth or sixth gear, but everybody have them gear level. As the People's National Party leadership race starts to sizzle, Dr. Peter Phillips, the man trying to hang on to his job as president, fired several rounds at critics while reeling out his 2-year report card at the Quarterly Auditorium in New Kingston last night, making the case for his continuance. Phillips, who has come under pressure from challenger Peter Bunting. Peter Bunting's surname is Murcott. And when I see it first, me I say, oh the man middle name to be Mascot, but I may look funny wrong. Yeah. Peter Bunting rise united camp over the past few weeks did not hold back as he fired several salvos, charging that those who oppose him were only looking out for themselves. But Mr. Phillips, everybody have ambitions, Yes, and every man want to elevate themselves and want self-actualization. I want to become a prime minister. If you think that's a possibility. Anyways, Phillips sought to position himself as a party man who has remained loyal to the institution despite not always having his own way. You understand? You can't loyal to an institution like that has been plagued by scandal and corruption. But that does some mean see it still, but you know one thing. For all the years that I have been part of this party and served this party, I have been guided by an essential principle that it is at the foundation of the movement. We exist only to defend and serve the interests and needs of the people. I have had my triumphs. I have had my disappointment over these years. I have taken posts that I never wanted, but I have always answered the call and I never left. No matter how disappointed I was, I always served this party. Phillips told Comrade last night. But it's funny that Peter Phillips is taking issue with somebody challenging him, knowing that Peter Phillips challenged Portia Simpson-Miller not once, but twice for the presidency of the People's National Party. How quickly things have changed. Bunting was hired as a personal advisor to then Prime Minister Michael Manley in 1990. He would later represent the PNP in the 1993 general election. Ousting former Prime Minister you share as a big scalp that when you defeat one former Prime Minister in a strong Jamaica Labour Party seat, it's a big wig. But in 1996 he reverted to his career in banking to take up a lead role at Deering, Bunting and Goling. The move came after he was denied a key position in government for which he had asked. I never did even know when would leave the party, and you live and learn. Phillips also turned back criticism coming from the Bunting camp that he is not inclusive. And the party under his leadership shuts down contending views. What you have is some people determined. Whatever happened to carry a negative and defeatist message about the People's National Party. If you want to see the team do better, there is space for everyone to work. Every single one. That is how we have built this party, he said to Cheers. The PNP president also outlined the party's strategy for a victory against the JLP. I have said this already, and I'll say it again, and you can record me. The People's National Party cannot beat the Jamaica Labour Party in a general election if Peter Phillips is the leader. I don't care who become the leader of the PNP, I am just saying, the hard, cold facts is that Dr. Peter Phillips is not a viable opposition opponent for Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness is a amazingly popular prime minister. I can tell you that. Look at the reactions that he gets when he goes anywhere. You understand? Look at his favorability ratings in the polls. Peter Phillips cannot defeat Andrew Holness in a general election. That is the simple facts. And who no understand that blind is a simple thing. And this is coming from a man who has no political allegiance to nobody. It's just the cool facts. You understand what I say? Peter Phillips is not really likable like that. He's not really charismatic like that. He's not really in tune and in touch with the largest part of the electorate, which is young people. You understand what I say? He has been run actress a teacher can tell the future. It's not a matter about telling the future, you know. And Kanayaka Chisholm said that is why she want Bunting to win. Bunting now go beat Holness either Empress. Take it from me. He will probably stand a better chance, and him have money and him friends have money. But the reality is you have to remember who they are challenging. Andrew Holness has become a shrewd politician and the most popular politician. And the reality is that anybody who becomes the People's National Party president will have an uphill task defeating Andrew Holness. An almost impossible one at this point in time, in my humble, honest opinion. It's not a matter of predicting the future. It's just calling the thing how we call it. You understand what I say? And case in point, the by-elections are a snapshot of a general election. Zine, and the People's National Party sent the man who is the most popular member of the party, the man who is the most charismatic member of the party, the man who is the most likable member of the party, the man who is seen as the future of the party, and he was unable to retain a seat that has been held for 30 years by the People's National Party. That is an amazing message that was sent right there, you know. See, don't for one moment think that the by-election was just a by-election. It was a referendum on Peter Phillips as a leader. You understand what I say? It is a referendum on what the people thinks of the People's National Party. And just the reality that, you know, remember, say, I not talk from no political allegiance standpoint, you know, I just talk the cool facts as me analyze them in my big head. I may not be the most intelligent person ever, you understand, but I think I'm sensibly enough to look at certain dynamics and make a call. And the call is Peter Phillips can defeat Andrew Holness in a general election. And I say that because it's just the cold facts. And the reality that even though Peter Bunting may stand a better chance, he neither can beat Andrew Holness. At this point, and that in itself is sad. And let me tell you why it is sad. Because here we have a prime minister who remains amazingly popular despite the fact that his administration has been rocked by some of the biggest scandals in the history of Jamaica. And not only that, we are grappling with a crime monster that is bigger than it has probably ever been. Yet still, the prime minister remains a very, very popular man. And whether you don't want to admit it, yes or no, forget about the politics. We could just talk about the reality we're in front of our face. Peter Phillips cannot challenge Andrew Holness. Simple facts. Peter Bunting may stand a better chance, but I don't see him either defeating Andrew Holness. Because remember, you know, that even though people vote for them MP, ultimately people vote for a prime minister. You understand what I say? That is the reality that we face in our political maturity or lack thereof as a country. Zane, I am wondering why Angela Brownberg didn't enter the challenge. The delegates them now going to really vote for Angela Brownberg right now. That's the reality, I don't think. And then Angela Brownberg probably abide her time and thinks she probably, when Peter Phillips walk away, because I think she's in Phillips' camp as well. But I think Philip Palwell is probably the man who is probably next in line from the Phillips camp to step forward. And that in itself is the next Kekla fish. Like, I don't know, I could be wrong. Zane, 4 of the vice presidents are supporting Peter Phillips. Crawford, Lisa Anna, Angela Brownberg, no, more than that. Wickham McNeil, Philip Palwell, a portion of them. You understand what I say? So I think about 5 out of the 7 vice presidents. Are someone vice president now? Is there a lot of vice president? I support that. So I don't know. You understand? I just call the thing as how me see it. So yes, Peter Phillips may well retain presidency of the party. But the reality that we face now is that Peter Phillips is just not a viable alternative against the Jamaica Labour Party led by the Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Either 4 months a money run thing. So you for a minute think say the Jamaica Labour Party don't have them financiers and backers. Yeah? Think about it. And think about the situation where a governing party generally have more resources than a party in opposition. So make reason the things them as and forget about the emotion and the parties and politics type of thing. I just the facts we are deal with still. But I can move on because we wrap up. Night I come. You understand? Big up to the people who still there. I know some people gonna sleep. See? Where brother say now, what you have is some people determine. I read that already, don't I? Yeah. The PNP president also outlined the party's strategy for victory against the JLP. The party led by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who Bunty and his team say cannot be defeated unless Phillips is replaced. That's true, that's a forward. Our strategy is simple. Hold the 29 seats that we have now. Put teams in place where we have to and take over and win an additional 10 seats where the Labour Party is vulnerable. Okay. It is not pretty picture organize this thing. It is work on the ground, street by street, lane by lane, community by community, house by house, voter by voter to bring out the voters for the People's National Party. The current party president said over the years since he took over the reins of the leadership, he was repositioned, the PNP to remain relevant. He has repositioned the PNP to remain relevant. I have led the charge getting the PNP to take its rightful place among the progressive parties among the world internationally. Wow. We will never relent. We will never forget that we are proudly a part of a progressive movement. We are on the left. We make no apology for it. Phillips said. You understand? So a whole heap of little things. A lot of the VP spoke. You understand? Damian Crawford and Natalie Nita Edley, I think, made a statement. Say, if you want to vote for a man to become Prime Minister because him fat. So some persons, 4 VPs. Blessings, other 4 man. Oh, so it is Crawford, Palwell, Anna, and Brownberg then. So I'm a Wickham and a VP, right? I don't think Wickham is a VP. Alright, blessings, I appreciate that. Seeing Andrew active on social media, everyone on the internet. He's a smart man. Shoot politician these days, Miss Caroline Fidel. Whether them like it or not, him smarter than them. You understand what I say? He has learned the political chess, and he's playing it. You understand what I say? And even with the corruption surrounding his government, he remains very, very popular and very, very likable. That is the reality. You understand? And like it or not, Peter Phillips cannot defeat Andrew Holness in a general election. All things being equal. It just won't happen. You understand what I say? It just will not happen. Peter Bunting may stand a better chance. I still don't see him defeating Andrew either. And that is worrying for a democracy, knowing that a government that is plagued by so many scandals remains so popular. Yeah, so man, they must say, if people say they want to vote for Phillips because he's fat. You understand? So that's the part of the new debate. You understand? But the reality that Mr. Phillips at his age need to lose some weight. It's not good for him health. That's the reality. I said that on social media today and somebody ask about it. Say whether a man fat or slim, him need to pay attention to his health. But you must appreciate the fact, say, if you're overweight at age 100, then you're dangerous. Like, you understand what I say? Ron actually say Andrew, best politician in Jamaica. I don't know what you use for rate politicians still, but me hear you loud and clear. You understand what I say? I don't know. I could say you're gonna. You understand? But it's interesting. I mean, I like the politicking and I like me sit and watch and me observe and me see the maneuverings and the things and things and things and things. Yeah, me appreciate that. You understand? And as somebody who did a little bit of political science one at a time, you know, me appreciate a thing. You understand? I mean, like what politics and politicians do to the country, but then the whole chest of politics and the whole politics of politics, me like that. I mean, like the reality that politicians bring to us. The part there, whatever so. You understand what I say? And thing. Peace. Me I cut it this up because as I say night I come after 10. I haven't streamed this long for a long time. 2 hours and 35 minutes. You understand? We're there. We are give thanks. Big up to the people that are there tonight. We really and truly appreciate the continued support. Seeing big up to the people that are forward in and left in and thing. But Ron Brown said Damian Crawford is the only man me say to beat Andrew right now. But Damian Crawford couldn't win one constituency, brother. That is important, you know. You understand what I say? So you have to look on the whole dynamics of the thing. But as I say, we can talk about the politics thing for you all night. I don't really intend to do that. You know what I mean? But Damian is a popular man. You understand? Damian problem is that his strength is his weakness. He's a wonderful orator, meaning him talk well. But also talking kind of get him in a problem from time to time. You know what I mean? So I saw it thing go. Peeps, big up on yourself. Manners and respect. Appreciate the support. You know what thing go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have something nice to drink. But if you must drink, do not drive. If you must drive, do not drink. Load the headphone them on the guy road. You understand? The Bluetooth headpiece them. Them something unnecessary, brother. You understand? Keep your phone in your pocket and in your bag. Use them only when you need them. Observe your environment. Pre people because people are pre you. Travel with only the cash that you need. If you must take public transportation, try to travel in a group. If you cannot travel in a group, know the do's and the don'ts. State the license plate number. Send it go get somebody. You understand what I say? Tell people you there, tell people you have to go. Describe the car, describe the driver. Always follow your instinct. If it feels wrong, it is wrong. Trust absolutely no one. For the people that will live them life on social media, every detail and remove them make stop. I don't need to say nothing more about that. The people that will live them relationship and them status and them thing they want to stop doing it, man. Nobody no need for know what going on in a bedroom family. You know what I mean? Nobody no need for know everything in your relationship. It's called your private life because it's supposed to be private. You dig what me I say? No, man. You see, for the people that want to walk around a video accident and not help the people that want to move up. You see me I say, peeps, big up on yourself. I mean I say Miss Kanaika Chisholm, Miss Grace Abel, Miss Joan Gray, Daniel Scarlett, Brock Hardy, Delroy Stewart, Sol Lee, Llewellyn Brown, Kev, Touche, big up yourself in the FC Barcelona more than a club, Miss Kanaika Chisholm, Miss Carleen Vidal, Ingrid Theater, DS Electronics Unlimited, Ryan Brown, Omar Godfrey, Miss Grace Abel, Edda Foreman, good evening Miss Foreman, who else in the building, Miss Ruth Daly, Eloyd Kelly, Delroy, big up Delroy, big up yourself again my brother, you know what thing you know, Picala son, what you did bro? Manners and respect, you know, she's Caribbean. Blessings, Empress. Yard and Abroad TV. Blessings, Natash. Hope you're alright. Ron Atri. Blessings. Zane Top Max. What you did, family? Everything good? Cookie, mama. Cookie, big up yourself. Craig Creation. Craig, what you did, brother? Manners in a youth. K Dennis. Anna, big up yourself in a sis. Manners. Nico DTG. Fabulous. What go on, Empress? Everything good? Who else about? D&J Small, my brother. Miss Pearly Simpson. Man, I say no. You know what thing go. Yeah, so let me say, Lady Clark, what go on? Are the same people that are coming to over and over. The Royal General, I know what about it. Big up yourself, you know. Live chat boat, big up yourself, you know, brother. Man, I say respect, you know. Keisha Lee, I think that is her name. I think she was here earlier. Big up yourself, Empress. You know what thing got Junior Lewis. Jadi. Man, I say no, brother. Peeps. Big up on yourself. Yeah, so we appreciate the support. Seeing and thing. Manners. Sunday, 5:30. Make it a date and don't be late. Don't look for it. Get book for it. Just send Anjo. Manners and respecting a family. You know what I mean? Peeps. Walk good. Step with Jah. I'm out.
Teach them. Hey, yo, hello. Send the message and make it reach them. It's teach them. Right here. Warlord representing.
Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment below. Remember to like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. Follow me on social media and check out the suggested videos on screen. This is Teach saying, until next time, walk good, my friends.